What's up, guys? You've seen Unparalleled Universe, dropping the dopest action figure reviews on YouTube for nearly a decade. But have you seen the Kickstarter? Odious the Living Curse is an original creation of Unparalleled Universe's Wade Merrick. This is a 1/12 scale, fully articulated, freakish horror monster with soft goods clothing and serious street cred. Don't miss the chance to see him fully realized in action figure form. Now you face the Shredder. On the chopping block for today's review, we are taking a look at the NECA Toys Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Shredder battle-damaged version. We are going to take an in-depth look at the figure itself, checking out its articulation, how much reuse there is, probably a good bit, see all the cool stuff it comes with, and let you know if I think it's worth the time and money to track down. How I do, I'll drop some knowledge about the original source material. First, let's talk a little bit about this box. The packaging is pretty sweet. It features original Mirage Comics artwork from original TMNT creators Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. He is blue in this variation. The series was originally black and white, of course, and it would be colored 3 times. The blue is from the 3rd recoloring. Got some credits here on the bottom. Product shots on the back, styled like the comic. A little tease here. Here we go. First issue. This is like the end here. He's pulling that thermite grenade, you know. But there's little logos and things on it. Nickelodeon. We live in this gross world where it's just like giant corporations swallowing other giant corporations. And computer, who owns Nickelodeon?
Nickelodeon is owned by Paramount Media Networks.
Computer, who owns Paramount Media Networks?
Paramount Network is an American general entertainment cable and satellite channel owned by the Viacom Media Networks division of Viacom.
Computer, who owns Viacom?
Viacom is owned by National Amusements. National Amusements Incorporated is an
Jesus,
American
just
privately-owned movie theater operator.
computer, stop. One more interesting thing. This insert in the box, this is from page 9 of the first issue of TMNT and from the first recoloring by Kevin Eastman. The blue Shredder is, again, 3rd recoloring. I bet NECA doesn't even know this stuff. Moving on. Getting in here for a closer look, this is Orokusaki, the Shredder, the Ninja Turtles' most infamous adversary. This is based on his appearance in the very first issue of the comics, the final battle. They threw down on the rooftop and he gets a little bit tore up here. A little bit. Come on, read that comic. It's really good. So, originally, of course, they were in black and white. I know, here we go. When they first colored the TMNT comics, the Shredder was pink. The foot were also like pink, but then they recolored him again and it was like a darker, almost a red color, and the foot were like a black color. But the last recolor decided that the Shredder was blue, and he actually was on one of the old reprint covers when the series was still black and white. So that's kind of legit, but also that they decided that was the final recolor, like thus far, and they've decided it's blue. So does that mean he's blue? I mean, he's pretty pink in the movies. Purple, you know, whatever. It's kind of cool that he is a distinct color from the Foot Ninja, and I do like blue. I guess what's kind of fun when you think about the original coloration where they colored him pink, they also colored the blood white. So that might be reason enough for some to be able to discount it. When they, recolored it for the 3rd and final time, the blood was back and the Shredder was blue. But he also kind of had gloves in some panels, so, take your pick, man. These are great. This is all great. I like this battle-damaged look. Getting up closer to the head. Get these little eye slits sculpted in there. There's some kind of head underneath the helmet proper, It's pretty sturdy, pretty solid. But it's mostly a recolor of the old Loot Crate one. And then it's just, there's a lot of reuse as far as like the animated series Shredder and even foot soldier parts, the upper arms, the lower legs. The upper legs and stuff are resculpted or at least just retooled because they have all this sculpted damage. The little flap thing is there from the other Shredders, but this is unique. It looks very similar to what the Foot are wearing, which makes sense that they're all sort of wearing a similar garb. But it's all of the added detail and the paint detail that makes this like the Mirage comics with the heavy line work and shading and all of that all over it. I think the sculpted damage is rad. Actually, I wonder if this is reused from somewhere. If you look at that comic, it's actually torn this whole thing. There's not like a middle section left in there. So that's kind of weird. Shoulder pads, really nicely detailed. This silver here with these heavy black lines on it to make it look like those gritty old comics. The wraps here are detailed, and I really like this dark shade of blue. These are softer overlays here. And you can see up into there this really rudimentary jointed system, but it gives him really nice articulation. He is the leader of an ancient clan of ninja. He needs to be able to move, to throw down. For all the good it did him, fighting against giant anthropomorphic murderous mutant turtles, you know what I'm saying? Peg holes on the bottoms of those wrapped feet with paint detail down there. How nice of NECA. They're usually really good like that. Other companies might not even paint the back of the figure. How unacceptable would that be? Let's check out the articulation. So we have this head up here on a little ball joint, and it'll rotate around, and it gets a whole bunch of tilt because it's way up here. Now also, it's pegged in here at the neck, and there's a hinge. So that will work way in there. Also, because this is reuse, this is like older style NECA stuff, dude, and like all of the joints were stuck. All of them. And the hands are the worst of all. They're like painted over. The joints are painted in there. He comes with 3 extra sets of hands, and every set of hands is like painted shut, and you could barely move it. Yeah. Anyway, working down here, we got these shoulders that are just pegged in here. There's no kind of butterfly or anything like that because it is a lot of reuse. You can see the hinge. They'll rotate. The shoulder pad is a very soft plastic, and it's just kind of tabbed in there. But they will come up this far, and you can sort of carefully rotate that if that's what you felt like you needed to do with your life. He's got a bicep cut there that'll spin all the way around. Double jointed elbow. Folds pretty well. The gauntlet doesn't really restrict it too much. The wrists are pegged in and they are hinged. They'll come in and back, assuming you break all that paint loose, you know what I mean? He's got one piece of articulation at the torso, rotates, it's just pegged down into there. Nothing, no crunch or anything like that. Coming down here to the legs, you saw how those work, so they will come all the way out to the sides here. Yeah. And same forward and back, as these are softer overlays all the way around. Double jointed knee, folds way up here like this. And he's got this nice little boot cut with the shin guard, a soft plastic affixed and pegged in right there. The ankles will come back like this, forward like this. You can see they run into the shin guard there a little bit. They rock side to side. And he's got toe articulation. Pretty solid. He is an older sort of NECA sculpt, more or less. I know, battle damage and stuff notwithstanding. And I've had a lot of good things to say about the articulation on their modern releases. But I mean, even this one, this is great. He's got all this great stuff. I would recommend watch those joints, man, when you pull them out of the package. For accessories, the Shredder comes with 3 extra sets of hands. Curiously, they're all grip hands of various circumference. They are a little malleable though anyway. But you get one that is sized just right to hold the thermite grenade, which is really nicely detailed, painted in a couple of tones, really captures that comic feel. These are all the same as the regular hands here, with the talons on the back of all of them. A little bit malleable, but they look really nice. They're colored really well. And, you know, all the joints, they're all painted shut. They're all painted shut. See this paint just raining down. So, you know, it's hard to complain about a lack of paint from NECA. That is cool. We also get the damaged gauntlet. You can see with the broken straps here. Just a sort of artifact from the battle. That is really cool. Trophy. And then you get the unhelmeted head. All tore up and, I mean, looking like it was pulled right off the page of that first issue. Like the other one, it's on a ball joint up there, and then it's got a nice hinge down here as well for a little bit extra. Pop that thing on the fly, and you could separate the necks from the heads as well. But it pops in there pretty handily. Like I said before, the damage isn't necessarily perfect to how that appeared, but man, this face is, and the included accessories. Never let it be said that NECA isn't paying attention. This is not just the battle damage Shredder. This is the final battle, the rooftop battle Shredder that inspired that scene in the movie. The accessories really put it over the top. The NECA Toys Mirage Comics battle damaged blue Shredder stands 6 3/4 of an inch. Don't do that now. Computer stop. From the same toy company and the same comic books run, we have the Mirage Comics, Fugitoid, and Donatello. Check out my review of that 4-pack if you haven't already. From the original cartoon, we have the NECA toys Shredder and Splinter. You can see a good bit of reuse there, I think perfectly appropriate. The arms, what they could of the legs, the armor bits, they are just painted to match a different aesthetic. And I think it looks great. I think they all look great. And I think you look great, dear viewer. Leave a like on this video, and I'll love you long time. Also from NECA Toys, of course, the Secret of the Ooze, Shredder, and Leonardo. Don't worry, this Leo's not gonna kill ya. He's just here to have a wacky time. From another animated iteration, we have the DC Collectibles Shredder and Michelangelo. Bebop and Rocksteady, you guys know what's up with these. From the original Playmates toy line, Toka and Razar. Look at the wet lips on that Wolfman. The Hasbro Power Rangers,
Get
Lord...
the hell out of my way.
Come on, dude. Also from Hasbro, we have the Marvel Legends Silver Samurai. And the Marvel Legends Morning Coffee, mostly Bucky Cap Deadpool. Now, how about a nice cup of shut the... All in all, I'm pretty impressed with this figure. The reuse notwithstanding, and it being generally mostly parts from older NECA stuff. I guess it's some of their better... The torso articulation is crap compared to what you could get on some newer stuff. But the arms and legs, it's all there, and the look of it, man, it's so nice to look at. I like the blue Shredder. Some people, it's more pink. They don't want me to say it's pink. They like to think it's red, right? You know, the second coloration, that was kind of red. But that first coloration, the blood was gone. So, you know. These are starting to hit Target stores, but the Mirage, the comic stuff, has been popping up at all the major online retailers. And honestly, you can get Casey, you can get the Utroms, the other classic Mirage stuff pretty easily, even right now. Of course, that'll dry up at some point, but I feel pretty comfortable thinking that if you want this Shredder, you'll be able to get this Shredder for regular retail. Which, you know, if nobody's paying attention, I mean, these are $10 or more than like Hasbro stuff. I know everyone's jumping on them for upping their prices. But they did 2 increases inside of 18 months. That's garbage. NECA, though, they're just quietly doing whatever they want with the prices. Who knows what those are? Who knows what it's all based on? But if you don't have a Shredder, I highly recommend this one. Or if you just are a stickler to recreate that scene. If you want him in a different color, you know, I bet they eventually get around to releasing that. And if you want to continue to release me into your home, maybe check out one of these other videos. Check out the rest of the channel. I work really hard on this stuff, and I am incredibly passionate and knowledgeable. And until the Shredder comes back as a worm clone, make mine Mirage. Thanks, guys.